Hello. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a recipe that I've been tinkering with. And I'm going to play with YouTube's algorithm a little bit and call this the Moonshot Recipe, because it has a rather unique way of producing some very high profits. So let's get into this and talk about it. It is a Bollinger Bands parabolic PSaR combination. And now for the profits. Yes, you are looking at these numbers correctly. An average profit on a 4-hour time frame of 24% for BTC. And you'll notice it got out of the market right before the November mess started and completely stayed out of it throughout the whole period. So if you want a long-term trading strategy, this is certainly jaw-dropping impressive. But I personally don't like trading just on high time frames alone, because unless you have a budget to really sustain this type of trading, you're not going to get very much profit. Now, this particular recipe does not work well on the 1 minute or 3 minute. But any combination from 5 minutes up, it does work well. For example, let's go to the 17 minute. This is an accumulation strategy. But as you can see, looking at the high amount of profitability, it does very well. I personally like the 5 minute version. For me, it's enough of a strategy with a reasonable aggregated profit, and the accumulation is within tolerable limits. Of course, you can limit it more if you'd like, but I think this does reasonably well with a decent budget to produce very good results. So let's look at a few other coins. Coins that I would not normally trade. I'm going to hide these for now, so that they don't blur the numbers out. Now, there's a lot of room for tweaking this as well if you want. But personally, if you're looking for a rock-solid performer, this does a good job. As you can see, quite nice. And it does do very good on the 5 minute. It does have a higher accumulation rate for the 5 minute than, say, the 15 minute, or one of my favorites, the 13 minute. The 13 minute strategy actually does quite generous. 9% average profit for the 13 minute. Of course, you have your accumulation, as I said, but if you plan for worst case scenario of 100 positions, this could be quite lucrative. You could even limit it to 20 or 30 with the right coin choice. And that really is the point. Coin choice. Some coins are not going to perform well all the time on every time frame. Some coins are going to do exceptionally well. It's just a matter of your personal risk assessment and budget. As you can see, LTC is not that good of a performer on the shorter ranges, but the longer ranges, and I do mean longer ranges, it can do quite well. So study the charts, look for opportunities that fit your personal situation, and this can be really a very nice long-term staple to your trading capabilities. This is actually pretty reasonable for Tron. I've said this before, it's a garbage coin, but even it is a moneymaker with the right recipe. So don't underestimate just how well a coin would work if it's a good quality. And that's the important part, especially with the market being the way it is. Pick good quality coins, and you will have good quality results. Simple, sweet, and really quite nice. Even for coins that usually have a very difficult history, it can still produce some very good standouts. This is quite good considering. And of course, we're going to get to XRP, the coin that should just call itself a stable coin and accept it. Very, very weak level of price action, but a very strong market cap. I like trading this coin because it does do well. It does excessively well on a consistent level. It can be a difficult coin to trade, but profitability can also be quite generous. As you can see, it's accumulating through the process, and it's being strategic in its accumulations. Let's move this down where we can get the numbers. So even with all the calamity, only 10 trade cycles on the 29 minute. Not bad. Again, your budget must be appropriate to your time frame. Smaller time frames for smaller budgets. But this is a worthwhile coin. So now let's see what it looks like on a 5 minute. I really wouldn't recommend going below 5 minute for this recipe, as it just doesn't do well overall. But 5 minute is pretty comfortable, and it does quite generous for the results. Really though, the standout are the much higher market cap coins. Let's get to, now BNB is a bit of an odd coin, but it still does well. But BTC and Ethereum, those actually do pretty good. And in all honesty, I personally like the way Ethereum looks. I don't know if I would trade it on a 5-minute, but I certainly do like what it looks like on the 13-minute. Again, accumulation based, but this is a coin I don't mind holding. So it really depends on what you're looking for and how you actually want to accumulate your profits. And you can see Bitcoin and Ethereum are definite standouts. So I'm going to leave this link in the description below. Check it out, look at it, play with it, take a look at its unique properties. It's actually not a very complicated recipe, and that really kind of makes it stand out even more. The simplicity of it, and yet it just does such a good job. So Bollinger Bands Parabolic SAR with a DCA combination. And you can limit your DCA based upon your risk assessments and budgets. Just make sure you plan for your worst case scenario and you look at all time frames to figure out which one would be best for your objective and risk assessment. So to entertain YouTube, this is my Moonshot Recipe. It does well, and it is simple to use. The other thing I like about this recipe is it's also easy to keep track of manually in the event that you need to intervene with your exchange. So like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this recipe. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can get more recipes like this and other tips on how to improve your trading. Until next time.